continuation of my nerdy vomiting onto the world, which has yet to have a name. It is as yet untitled, but since I can't figure out a name, and The Bells of St. John, the new Doctor Who episode, is coming out this Saturday, I kind of feel like I needed to rush this thing and put something out there anyway, even though I don't have an official name for whatever this is going to be. Who is Clara Oswin Oswald? We know she's the new companion. We know she's died both times she's seen the Doctor in these last episodes, in Asylum of the Daleks and the Snowmen. We know that she's died. We know that she's said the same thing before disappearing, "Run, clever boy, and remember." But we don't exactly know how she keeps coming back to life, how her and the Doctor's paths keep meeting, and what the fuck that is all about. Now, there are a bunch of different theories swirling around the Twitterverse, the universe, the Whoverse, all of those verses. There's a lot of things swirling around. A few of them, I think, can be debunked from the get-go, or at least one definitely, and that's that she's River. We know she can't be River Song. River used all of her regenerations. She has no more regens left. She used it to save the Doctor. So that's not an option. We have a few other theories here. Now, one of them is that she was created by the universe for the Doctor. She is this perfect companion, this absolutely magically perfect human being who's intelligent and quick on her feet and able to run and can hack into, like, Daleks' mainframe databases. In the Snowmen, the Doctor begged the universe for, you know, kind of like a get out of getting another companion killed card. And he wanted, you know, please give me something. I've done so much for this universe and I want something. So maybe she is the universe's gift to the Doctor. She is this sort of hyper companion, this amazing companion that's somewhat immortal that the universe is creating for the Doctor. Another theory is that she's part Time Lord. A lot of people are talking about how Susan, the first companion, the first Doctor, used to call her granddaughter. And now people are wondering, since the 50th anniversary is coming up, if Moffat's trying to tie up some loose ends and she could perhaps be Susan who regenerates. Who knows? I mean, that to me is a stretch, but I can understand where they're coming from. Also, the Doctor's daughter is a big one, Jenny. We know that she, in the end of the Doctor's daughter, actually came back to life using Time Lord gold magicalness and shot off into space. And a lot of people have noticed that the chair in the spaceship that she's in is the same chair that Clara Oswald is sitting in. Or is she Oswin? She's Oswin. It's the same chair that Oswin is sitting in Asylum of the Daleks. Now, obviously, you know, it could just be the BBC's clever reusal of props, because we do know that the main staircase that was in Rose's mother and her father's house in the alternate universe is the same staircase from The Angels Take Manhattan. To me, it's a little weird that the Doctor's daughter would be kissing her dad. I don't know if there would be an intentional incestual thing going on between the Doctor and the Doctor's daughter. Someone has mentioned before that in a television screen that was on in the background of an episode of one of the Rose episodes, a news reporter says the face of Beau has announced that he's pregnant. This is, to me, really interesting just because of the way that we found out that Captain Jack was the face of Beau. And they're kind of insinuating, the people who believe this idea, that she could be the daughter of the face of Beau, which means she can't die. That would make sense solely because how many times did we see Captain Jack die? Like, we were like, okay, you're dead, and he ended up being alive. That would make somewhat sense to me, except I don't think it would explain how she would survive becoming a Dalek. Another interesting theory that I really, really like is not necessarily a concrete idea of who she is, but an interesting notation that has been made. And that is that there seem to be a lot of roses around her. Now, whether or not this is, you know, Rose's little tip-off to Clara being the next Rose, which I personally, as much as I love Rose Tyler, I would love a real love interest again for him. But the relationship that they had in The Snowman and how he seemed when she was dying was so heart-wrenching to me. And there was something there. And to give him not just a new human love interest, but a human that is breaking the boundaries of humanity, I think is really, really cool. Like, I think that's a great idea. Some people have also been suggesting that Clara could be a different version of the Doctor, like his 12th regeneration or something. And while I am all for a woman being the 12th Doctor, because I think that would be really cool, I don't think it would make sense for the 12th Doctor to get as involved in his past life. And it's really kind of creepily narcissistic, and I don't know if there's a word for being attracted to yourself. Self-sexual? I just think that would be breaking so many time laws. It would just be completely unnecessary to send your old self on a wild goose chase for some adorable little hiney. Some people are wondering whether or not Clara, Oswin, Oswald could be a Time Lord, an actual full-blown, pedal-to-the-metal, Gallifreyan-loving, circular Gallifreyan-writing, two-heart-having Time Lord. Now, some people are suggesting she could be Romana, who was a Time Lord and a companion of the Doctor in earlier seasons. The only problem I have with her being a Time Lord is when you think David Tennant is going to regenerate in the episode where Rose comes back, and he turns around and all this regeneration shit comes out, and I'm sitting there screaming, like, no fucking way, I'm not ready. And then he leans up and he's like, nah, why would I change this face? Like, blah. I don't think that that's necessarily something that we should consider, like, the norm for Time Lords. Like, wouldn't that sort of kill the novelty of regeneration? Like, wouldn't that defeat the whole purpose of there being new actors and stuff like that if every single time a Time Lord regenerated, they could just be like, I want to keep this face? An interesting thing that I saw on Tumblr was that people forget that she was actually a part of a giant planet of nanogenes, and we saw what the nanogenes did. We saw how they were slowly turning people into Daleks, and what if her implementation and her implantation in the Daleks mainframe, erasing the memory of the Doctor, you know, she was in there, she was doing shit. What if somehow she used the nanogenes, and now the nanogenes are manipulating genetics to make them more like her? A lot of people are wondering if what they're doing with Clara isn't going to end up connecting with the 50th anniversary in some way, shape, or form. So there's a lot of talk about the key to time. The 4th Doctor, when he found out that the Black Guardian was looking for the key to time, he decided to go look for it with Lady Romana and K9. And he found all of the pieces of the key to time. The 6th piece being a humanoid named Princess Astra. When the Black Guardian came and tried to disguise himself as the White Guardian, say, hey, what's going on? I see you found the key to time, blah, blah, blah. The Doctor didn't fall for the trick, and he decided to scatter the fragments of the key to time throughout time and space. The only thing that remained was Princess Astra. We have another idea that Clara is the daughter of Rose and 10-2. How would she get to this land? First of all. Second of all, is this Twilight, where the person he can't be with has a child and then he falls in love with the child? I mean, whatever. It's an interesting theory. She does have the brunette and shortness thing going for her. And I mean, from a casting perspective, one can argue that they have similar face shapes, her and Rose. But how would she get here? I mean, we know that there's a possibility of traveling in between the dimensions, but how would she get here and stay here? And again, we get into the idea that if she has Time Lord energy running throughout her, why wouldn't she regenerate? And again, you can look at Jenny and you can see how Jenny didn't die and Jenny stayed the same. So it's an interesting theory. I don't know if it's one I necessarily want to get behind. Who knows? The episode airs Saturday at 9 o'clock on BBC America. It is Doctor Who Season 7 coming back. The Bells of St. John. Clara, Oswin, Oswald. There's a plane crashing. He's got 2 hearts and he can't fly a plane. So I'm very excited. I don't think that we will get answers yet. I think this is going to be something that Moffat's going to drag out and just, you know, sever a few more heartstrings before I get any answers. But I do think that if we watch it with a close eye, we may be able to get something. We may be able to glean just a little bit more of an idea. Maybe, please, maybe. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please, I want comments. Tons and tons of comments. Okay? I want more ideas. I want debunking of myths. I want discussion. Please keep it nice. I don't need to have to read through a bunch of shit. You're allowed to curse clearly, but no mean people things, okay? And like I said, please don't come at me with torches trying to burn my house down because I think that the doctor needs another companion, another Rose Tyler. You know, he needs new love. Because I am Rose and 10 to the deathbed. I'm Bad Wolf, but I'm ready for another cute relationship. I'm sorry. So yeah, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want. This is, again, the first transmission of... I don't know what this is going to be called yet, but when I do, I promise it will be awesome. Good night, and get ready for Doctor Who. Keep calm on the doctor.